Squarebill. Because of Squarebill crankbait, I have caught bass on a Squarebill crankbait anytime the water's over 45 degrees. I had one of my best days on a Squarebill at Lake Wheeler in Alabama when the water temperature was about 46, 47 degrees. And I've also caught them on Squarebills when the water temperature is 90 degrees and everything in between. But like a lot of different lures out there, every month and every time of the year, as far as your water clarity and your water temperatures, is going to dictate different ways you have to fish these things and the type of areas they work in. So I want to dig in today why in the summertime of the year, when I'm shallow cranking, I've got both of these on my deck. I've got a balsa crankbait, I've got a plastic crankbait, and there's a time and place for both of them. Okay, first of all, one of the things that you're going to notice about Squarebill crankbait in the summertime, it is the ultimate reaction strike. Because when you're fishing a Squarebill in the summertime, it's different than any other time because I'm burning this thing. I'm burning it through the water fast. A lot of times, and if the water's a little bit cooler, I'll put like a little bit of weight on the belly and I'll just, fish it a lot slower like that through the water column. But in the summertime, man, I'm just burning this thing crazy through the water to create that reaction strike in the shallow, off-colored warm water. So based upon what you are fishing, it's either a balsa or a plastic crankbait. So I want to go over that with it. Now the plastic crankbait, guys, and this is that Megabass S crank. Like I said, the link's in the description of this video. Best Squarebill you can buy. This is the bait I won the Solo Pro Series last month at Lake of the Ozarks on, the exact bait here. When you want to use a Squarebill crankbait is if any time that you're fishing around rock or grass cover. This, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is about it, but the way that a plastic crankbait will deflect off of rock, you get more bites than balsa. Now, I'm not saying you can't mix them up. Yeah, you can catch fish on rock and wood with a plastic crankbait. You can catch fish on rock and wood with a balsa crankbait, but there are certain times you're going to notice a definite difference on which material is superior for that. So if you're cranking like rocky banks, like steeper rocky banks or riprap banks, something like that, or along a grass edge, a plastic crankbait is going to get you more bites. It doesn't have quite as much buoyancy to it. The way that it deflects off the rocks a little bit different. Just the way it pushes water is a little bit different. So what I'm looking for in the summertime of the year with a plastic crankbait is I'm looking for the dirtiest water I can find in the lake that I'm fishing. Now, for example, in my part of the country here where I fish the Ozark lakes, Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock, sometimes Grand Lake in Oklahoma, I try to hunt that dirtiest water and I want water visibility. I don't want it anything over about 1.5 foot clarity. But this is about as clear as I will go.